Welcome back to ISCT TV for day 3 at ISCT 2022 San Francisco. Today I'm joined by co-host Lizette Caballero and ESP ambassador, Marvel star Dr. Strange. Brief recap of yesterday's Science and Innovation sessions, translation to the clinic, ESP and industry networking reception, which was great.
It was amazing. The view was amazing. We had great pictures, the food, and the talking to others.
Yeah, it was great to mingle, huh?
Yeah, great to mingle.
5K run this morning.
Not me.
I was not there.
But I heard that it was amazing too.
Yep, and special shout out to the 5K winners. Apparently it was a race. Go ahead.
So first place was Leif Anderson, and then we have second place Mason, third place Tom, and first female Anna. So that was great. So congratulations to the winners.
I just want to point out that some of these finished in less than 18 minutes, which is incredible.
Incredible.
I can't even run a mile in less than 18 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. So today we progressed into from first in human to clinical acceleration and launch and patient access theme sessions. This morning's session focused on the theme from first in human to clinical acceleration with a plenary allogeneic cell therapies from proof to concept to patient application, co-chaired by Mike Gustafson, with the speakers Wayne Chu, Rafael Amado, and Howard Foyt. We
also have concurrent sessions. One of them was the hematopoietic stem cell engineering for gene therapy, regulatory T cells, and the clinical applications. And one that I actually attended was the MSc trials in COVID-19. They have Carolyn from UCSF talking about their study using mesenchymal cells, and it was amazing to listen to them, and especially, my heart goes to them because they were there in the middle of the pandemic, working directly with these patients, and they're amazing.
So, I mean, one directly mentioned about having to administer the drugs themselves, which I think is quite a shock. You never really think about that side of things.
So there's a picture of her, the way they administer, they became very, like they have to have this long tubing that go through closed doors so they're not next to the patient. While they have binoculars so they can see it. It's amazing what they did.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was incredible. Pitfalls in the late stage CMC, what's the solution? Dialogue by the Bay. And I know.
And I hope they came up with some solutions too, and not just witty titles.
Exactly. And CAR T cell manufacturing 2.0, accelerating the time to patient treatment.
Yep. I attended the CAR T cell manufacturing. I thought it was an excellent session. Apologies in advance for sending aside one of the audience members who asked too many questions. Oops. All right.
The sessions have been fantastic. I will have to say, and I'm sure my co-hosts here agree. It's so great to have so many amazing speakers here, and the leadership. And remember, you have it at your hands. You can always stop them and talk to them. Don't be shy, because they really want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And they really want to share their leadership, their experience. That's why they're here.
Yeah.
And speaking of whom, Catherine had a chance to chat with Patricia Rocco, recipient of the 2022 ISCT Mentoring Award. Over to you, Catherine.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Patricia, for joining me today. I just wanted to welcome you to ISCT TV. And first off, congratulate you on your award, your mentoring award yesterday. It's been a nice evening now, settling in. How do you feel now waking up?
Well, I'm very touched, honored, and it was a privilege to receive this award. Even in my wildest dream, I don't think that this award, will exist in my life, because I'm a scientist, I'm a doctor, and I know how to publish papers, I know how to do science, I know how to mentor my PhD, my postdocs. But we usually do this kind of stuff without thinking about an award. And when an award appears in your life, It's a huge emotion.
I mean, from your acceptance speech, something that really resonated with me when you opened your speech and you said, mentoring isn't a formality. It's not something you have to do. It's an honor to do it. You said, and that I love that. I tweeted about it later. I thought I need to keep that in my mind because I mean, one day we all aspire to be able to pass something on. It's our legacy, essentially, in science, really, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's not an obligation.
Yeah.
You know, this is our job. Our job as a scientist is to teach them. But to teach is not to teach only cell therapy. It's to teach how to deal with everything.
Yeah.
Because to be a scientist is not easy because you have to write grants, you have to write papers, you have to have the rejections. So how you can teach these students to deal with everything, to deal with the association between job and family and everything that happens. And if you are a woman, you have to deal with kids, with husband. So these kind of things we have to teach them.
As many will know, that you are the immediate past vice president as well for Central and Southern America. Is there anything that you in particular would love to see implemented in the next 5 years in terms of ISCT's global infrastructure?
Yes, you know that is the South and Central America is not a easy region because you have a huge heterogeneities between the countries, not only related to the stem cell therapy, but the regulatories. So you have to integrate them. So this is one thing that worked a lot during the pandemic. And the virtual meetings helped us a lot because we were able to integrate the different countries and the young researchers trying to understand what they need. And now, as a future global secretary, let's try to show them that, okay, they need, for instance, training courses. Let's try to give them these training courses. And we discussed a lot this issue. How to do a training course, not only in English, but probably in Spanish, you know, in order to integrate these different countries with these different languages.
What has been the best part of ICT so far?
Everything. You know that people that want you to develop, people that looking at the different researchers, not only the young researchers or senior researcher, regardless of the age. You can see here, you know, more than 1,000 people, you know, with different ages. And this kind of respect is very important. Age, backgrounds, countries. This is what I said yesterday. This is science. Yeah. Science, there is no borders. And you have to always integrate the different people.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And that's a wrap.
Finish.
That was perfect.
Oh,
you did great.
Oh my gosh, I did the train.
Well, thanks, Dr. Strange. Well done.
Oh, I'm back.
You're back. Building off this morning, this afternoon's sessions will focus on launch and patient access. There's a plenary. You made it. Now what? Delivering a world-class holistic cell and gene therapy launch. Chaired by Sven Keeley, with speakers Sarah Nikiforou, Greg Usati, Warner Biddle, Michaela Gabaldo, and Luca Pani.
There is concurrent sessions going to are cell and gene therapies a first world only luxury.
I hope not.
I hope no. And we have ESP Ambassador Ted had a shot with Boro Dropulić, a speaker in this session, and we'll cut to that in a minute. And shining a light on unlicensed CGTs. Where is the line between the right to care, ethics, and patient safety?
That sounds good.
That's going to be a good one.
Make it, don't break it, assuring global commercial success through a strong cell and gene therapy manufacturing strategy. Do accelerated pathways live up to their promise? I think that's a great question. Some of them love to just get that RMAT designation, put it out in the news, and then never use it again.
Yeah.
There's another fantastic title coming up.
Oh, Raiders of the Lost Art, investing in the next cell and gene therapy gem. All right.
All right.
So now we'll take a look at Ted's interview with Boro Dropulić.
It's Dr. Ted Kiefer again with ISCT TV. It is day 3 of ISCT 2022, the last day in San Francisco, the last day of an in-person meeting. I'm a little remiss and not happy about that, but I am sitting here with Dr. Dropulić. He's been very kind and willing to sit down and talk to us about some of his research and what he's doing in the community. Dr. Dropulić, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So I saw your session yesterday about non-malignant applications of CAR T. Can you give us a little bit of teaser as to what that was for anybody that wasn't able to attend the meeting?
Yes, certainly. One of the CAR T therapies that we are developing is a CAR T therapy against HIV. And it is called a duo CAR therapy. It means it has 2 chains of CARs, and both of these chains work in a little bit of a different way in order to create a T cell population that can both kill infected cells and also protect the CD4 cells from being infected. And in animal studies, we've shown very potent effects in terms of both inhibiting replication in these humanized mouse models and also protecting the CD4 T cells from infection. And right now, we are enrolling in our phase 1 clinical trial, both at UC Davis and the University of California at San Francisco. Dr. Steve Deeks from UCSF is the PI. And we're very excited to be able to enroll. I mean, these cells have very potent effects in every model that we've studied to date. And we are looking forward to seeing establishing their safety and seeing their effects in people with HIV.
You have another organization, well, you're part of an organization, the Caring Cross, that is trying to adapt cell therapy models for better access to the community. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so Caring Cross I co-founded with my my longtime friend and colleague, Dr. Rima Sorrentis, back a couple of years ago. And we've really been off and fully running since of July of last year. Caring Cross is a non-profit. We're a 501c3. But we're very much interested in decreasing the cost of how to produce these products, decreasing the vector cost, cell processing cost, all the materials costs, in order to really make these therapies affordable and accessible.
Have you come across any barriers in that? What solutions are you looking at from an IT perspective? I'm just trying to see if there's any partners out there in the ISCT community that should be reaching out to you to help you develop solutions.
Yeah, well, we're highly collaborative, so if there are partners, check out our website, caringcross.org. But the most important current goal is to implement what we call place of care manufacturing. So instead of that these CAR T-cell therapies or other gene-modified cell therapies are made in centralized manufacturing facilities, they're manufactured locally at the hospital. So when we do that, it can be done at a fraction of the cost. But from a regulatory point of view, that pathway is not yet approved, right? We're working on it, and the regulatory authorities are very sympathetic. In fact, the FDA came out with draft guidance on CAR T-cells, very much supporting local decentralized manufacturing. So we're very much focused on that to enable hospitals to manufacture these products locally at a much lower cost.
And where should our viewers go if they want to reach out to you and discuss the advancing the program with you?
Yeah, check out our website, but if you, you could also email us at partnering@caringcross.org. That's another way of reaching us. Thank you. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate everything. Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks, Ted. Also, as we get closer to wrapping up the meeting, I wanted to point out that we have a new president starting soon.
We do.
We welcome Dr. Jacques Galipeau as 2022 to 2024 ISCT president, and thank Bruce Levine, an amazing leader for the society and during the pandemic. Oof.
And Catherine sat down with Jacques to discuss his vision for the society in his new role. Over to you, Catherine. Doctor Strange.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Patrick and Lizette. So today I am joined with Jacques. Thank you for joining us. the new incoming president of ISCT. So tell me, what is going to be in the books for the next year?
So exciting times, standing on the shoulders of my predecessors. I've done such a fantastic job expanding the ISCT and its mandate. Something that's of real interest to many of the academics, most of the academics, many of the startups, a lot of our vendors, is a place of care, manufacturing, and vein-to-vein delivery. And there's a niche for that, which complements the traditional sort of at-scale deployment of mass-produced, and that's good. But there's also a lot of cell-based technologies or bespoke, one patient, one product. Autologous falls in that category, or it could be a directed allogeneic. That there may be a niche for place of care development and deployment that doesn't really fit in the traditional paradigm of at-scale deployment, but may still be commercially viable, but most definitely would have an impact on patient outcomes. And I think that's a drum that we can beat on a little bit louder over the next 2 years. And it comes from my experience as being a academic health center based physician and a scientist and scholar. And we're the ones that innovate at the alpha side, and we're the recipients at the omega side. And that's something I think that's a theme that's meritorious. That's one thing. And of course, the other big thing that we live with all the time, and everybody lives with, is workforce development. That's going to be that's a big place. But I think it's a fun place.
I'm really glad that you mentioned about the workplace development session, because I've heard a number of my fellow colleagues have really enjoyed that session, and it was really nice to have that included in the conference. But in your mind, are there any sessions that were of a particular highlight to you?
So look, coming to the conference, I feel like a kid locked in a candy store. You have the red jujubes and the yellow jujubes and the green jujubes. And which one is the best jujube? I love them all. I'm old enough to say it's like asking which kid you like most when you have kids. I liked it all. But one thing that really stood out were the roundtables. That's a new initiative, a new pleonasm, but it was an initiative this year. And I had the pleasure of chairing two of them, being a panelist on one of them. And you could see that the crowd really was engaged and loved the back and forth amongst the thought leaders, debating hot button issues. And that really resonated. And I think that there's that. And there's another initiative I really liked was the 2-minute pitches. Oh man, that was great entertainment. I don't know if you guys have seen Survivor. There was like Survivor for scientists. It was, and there was the lady in the back with the buzzer. Oh man, she was mean. Like you kept on, she just turned you off. But it was great. Anyway, it was a great experience.
It's challenging as well. You're putting scientists into a position that may be out of their comfort zone, but also gets really thought-provoking conversations going. And I'm glad you said about the roundtables, because as an early stage professional myself, seeing those was a really nice way of how to put points together and how to speak about science in a much more eloquent way, which I really enjoyed, and seeing all the back and fro. But I'm going to highlight this because I'm a MSc person myself, and I know that you are a slight fan. There's a number of talks that covered MSCs. Where do you think the trends in MSCs are going? Is it going to be moving towards the more innovative talks that were there, that were spoken about, so to do with mitochondrial transfer, biolipids? What are your thought processes on those?
So for those of you that are not familiar, MSC stands for mesenchymal stromal cells, not stem cells, mesenchymal stromal cells. That being said,
a whole new debate.
Resolved. But important milestone, a Rubicon that was crossed, was the Darvos-Dostrel approval Alofisel, the allogeneic adipose-derived MSCs that were utilized, administered fresh, to improve the outcome of Crohn's-related perianal fistula disease. I know it's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
But, and they were administered locally. And it was inarguably clinically substantially superior than just standard of care, and led to the first totally legit in a large regulatory environment approval. So that means that MSCs can cross. You can, in this rugby game, put the ball over the line. If is, hey, the options are myriad. So MSCs are not gone because, as a baseline, they've shown they can cross the line. It's version 2.0. And people like you that think creatively how to augment them and think of ways to augment them that are amenable to MacGyvering it to something practicable in people, that's going to be the next thing. I'm telling you, MSCs are not gone. They're just going to be stronger for the rough road they suffered through.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Last comment would be, best thing of this conference that you're hoping to take forward into next year?
Paris. Paris 2023. It's going to be, San Francisco was the unexpected gift of a wonderful meeting. Paris is going to be bringing together the Europeans will be able, all our European friends will be able to come because it's 50 euros to take a train to Paris. And Paris is on every American's bucket list. So you need to come. And all our Asian friends that are regretfully under the kibosh of COVID, that'll be lifted. It's going to be huge, big hit. And I think they're talking about everything we're talking about now, all the subject matters, the roundtables and everything else. I think Paris is going to be extraordinary, and I'm already planning ahead for this. I hope you'll be there as well.
I'm getting my hotel booked straight away.
And you tell everybody in your lab to come. And everybody needs to come. And trainees, put in the abstracts, and if you get a prize, your supervisor can't say no. So put in the abstracts.
Perfect, thank you so much. So back to Lisette and Patrick.
Thanks so much, Catherine and Jacques.
I'm back, it's all good guys, I'm here. I made it.
So that's a wrap for ISCT TV 2022 in San Francisco.
Woo.
What a fantastic few days being here in person once again. Whew. It's been great to talk to all of you, talk all things cell and gene therapy translation.
And for those sticking around for tomorrow, there are several focused hands-on workshops taking place, including
Early stage professionals, writing and editing workshop, cytotherapy.
We also have a technologies workshop that is in my heart because I was part of the people that are, the chairs that are working on it, and it's called Fundamentals of Cell Product Manufacturing. So it's going to be fun, I promise you.
It's in the title.
It's in the title, so we have to make it fun. What else we have?
We have the 2022 ISCT Scientific Signature Series event, Therapeutic Advances with Native and Engineered Human Extracellular Vesicles, EVs.
Wow.
Not cars.
And we also have the Cellular Therapy Inspector Training Workshop. So it was such a pleasure seeing friends, colleagues, and being in person in San Francisco. I can't say this enough. We are sorry to have to miss those who were unable to come to join us in person. And I hear several sessions recordings will be made and available. So the ISCT website, following the meeting, please catch up with the ISCT website because we're going to be talking about this, that we're going to be putting in the ISCT website. But it has been amazing. What about you guys? How you feel? I feel a little bit like, oh, it's sad.
I know, it's been a lot of information, a lot to take in, a lot to process. I'm looking forward to having a look back over my notes for the next couple of days, re-watching these as well.
Or just your Twitter.
Or my Twitter,
Yeah.
Got to keep the fans happy.
No, exactly, yeah. And I just want to give a special shout out to Megan, who helped coordinate the ISCT TV and the film crew as well. You guys have been wonderful.
Yeah,
it's been
thank
a pleasure
you so
working
much.
with you.
Woo.
Felix as well. He seems to be involved in everything that I'm involved with at ISCT. And of course, Queenie and the whole head office. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
It's been
so
a pleasure
much.
working with you. And thank you for tuning in to ISCT TV 2022 in San Francisco. And we look forward to seeing you in
Next year,
Paris.
Paris.
Benvenuto. I don't know French.
No.
Au revoir.
A bientôt.
I don't know how to say that.